SG Reads.
Hello fellow travelers, my name is SG and welcome to the channel. Today, I want to go over the Halloween special, The Quantum Leap, the Boogieman. One of the most divisive episodes and at the same time most interesting episodes that, whether you believe it or not, had changed the course of the series as a whole in regards to how storytelling was made and what we would see later on in the future, and even to where we would see in the reboot. So, without further ado, let's get started, shall we? But before that, please leave a like, comment, subscribe down below if you like my content. It really helped me out. I really appreciate it. And let's get started. Quantum Leap is an American sci-fi/fantasy series that was created by Donald P. Bellisario, starring Scott Bakula as Dr. Sam Beckett and Dean Stockwell as Al, his companion and friend throughout the whole series. Quantum Leap has won a total of 6 primetime Emmys and has been on for up to 43, and for so far it has been known as a household classic for the most part. The main story is, during an experiment, Dr. Sam Beckett has found himself leaping into the lives of different people, sorting out their problems along the way, trying to fix history from the way it was before to something better, with the help of Al guiding him in how these directions should go or what it is. We do get this funny series going. The most things we've seen is that Sam does not remember who or what his life was like in the past. We do know that the only thing he does remember is his name and little things here and there. Al comically referring to it as being your mind being Swiss cheesed, seeing little things throughout time, and we do see certain dramas coming up here and there, such as even Al's past is brought up in the main series as we know. But for the most part, Sam is just trying to help as many people as he can, leaping from person to person, hoping that the next leap will be the leap back home. Now, with all that being said, that is just my rough estimation of the series. I do love this series myself as a whole, and it's very hard for me to just explain it in such a short amount of time, so I do suggest going to check it out where you can. You can find it on Peacock, you can buy it on Amazon Prime, wherever it is. Please just go check it out. It's a very fun series. I haven't really checked out the reboot. I am planning on doing that. But for now, let's get to the main topic of today, the Boogieman. The Boogieman. Leap date October 31st, 1964. In this one, everything goes wrong when Sam leaps into a gothic horror novelist on Halloween. In this story, Sam leaps into the body of a novelist, as I said before, and he happens to be there at the same time. Someone working on the roof falls to the ground and ends up passing away due to the fall. In there starts an investigation into the murder of this old man, leading down to a whole series of events that happens to be either pointing towards the person that he's currently in, or even pointing at the wife of the person he's currently in being a witch of some sort, with objects moving around, with certain cars losing control. It's only up to him and his partner, a young boy named Stevie King, helping him along the way to solve what's happening, leading to a shocking conclusion, and one that has led fans to either believe that this entire episode is either a dream sequence or is leading them to something bigger, and I have to agree with the latter on this one. For the most part, this is a fun episode. This is one that really gets you and allows you to really look back and think. It requires multiple viewings of this, and right now we're going to get into the twist of the whole episode, which most of these Quantum Leap episodes don't really have compared to other ones. Usually most Quantum Leap episodes go from A to B storylines. This one took a complete U-turn in that sense. So, with that being said, the twist of the episode is that Al, the assistant that has been working with Scott Bakula, Sam Beckett, has not been in communication with him since the leap has started. But we know that we've been with Sam this whole time. He's been talking to Al this whole time. With the Al we know in the entire episode coming out and turning out has been the devil this whole time, trying to lead him astray, trying to get him in trouble, forcing him to make the wrong decisions, making him paranoid, making him question everything as far as he knew as far as this leap has gone. And when asked why was he bothering him, he simply gave the answer that you've been fixing things that I have set wrong. I can't have that happening. And now he's just asserting his dominance in this sense, trying to force Sam Beckett to go back to the time he came from. And ultimately, the episode ends with a bit of a tornado and ends with basically the person Sam's waking up as in the middle of having fallen off a ladder. And he believes that the only thing that could help stop this cycle from happening is saving the old man from falling off the roof at the beginning of the episode, which activates the leap into the next person. Sam, not really understanding what that whole dream sequence was about, continues on with the series as we know. And that led fans to believe that this was an entire horror movie episode, a Halloween special if you will, and that this was nothing more than a dream sequence to the whole series as a whole. Because overall, we haven't really gotten religious features in this. But throughout the episodes, as I've said, we do see little nods here and there of that happening. Now, we're here at the question of, was it a dream or not? Many fans believe that it was a dream. It does no chronological order to the series. While it does exist in the series as a whole, it is nothing more than hallucination from Sam. Maybe stress from all the leaping as far as we know, because this is in mid-season 3. And at that pace, we know that he was getting tired of the leaping as far as we know. But, for me personally, and with a good portion of the fan base, I have to believe this is real. Mainly because a lot of what we see in this episode does come back later on in the series. Not the devil being Al, but rather the symbolic of it all. We do know that the season 5, we do get these kind of rival leapers being in place to deter Sam from going further, trying to act as the main antagonist. And when we see them transform or shift, we get this lightning, this thunderous kind of transformation, unlike Sam, which is a light blue suddenly transferring him to another person. These ones are a reddish, thunderous, very violent looking leaping, as though it hurts the user as well. So, the reason I bring this up is because in the episode The Boogieman, we do get this idea that every time you hear lightning or a thunder, suddenly this devil Al shows up. The devil shows up in that same vein, and we do know that he doesn't exactly come in as Al, because Al always comes in through a door. This devil version of him just pops out of nowhere with that sound effect constantly coming back to him. And the way the distortion happens to the evil leapers constantly shows a similar trait to when Al was being attacked by the devil at the very end of the episode. So, which has led me to believe that to counter what Sam is doing and what the scientists are up to during the Quantum Leap project, he helped inspire somebody else to do the exact opposite. Cause mayhem, cause destruction. Some think that they're even assassins in a certain way. We don't know exactly the extent of the evil leapers because of the Swiss brain effect it does to the leaper himself. So, now this is a bit of a spoiler for the season finale of the Quantum Leap, well, series finale more like. Because at the series finale, we do know for a fact that he meets God, or the universe, or whatever entity, you consider to be the one that's in control of the universe. Even Quantum Leap kind of suggests that it might be God, it might be the universe, it might be whatever. It could be eternity for all we know. But we do know that there is a powerful source outside of this, that Sam has talked to it, communicated with it, and that there have been leapers like him, either in the past or in the future, that act as angels along the way. And this goes again to prove that this scenario does prove the Boogeyman situation, because as we know, time kind of went backwards for Sam, and when he fixed it, it made him move forward. We said that with the old prospector from the series finale, saying that he's lived this life over and over again trying to save the men in the mines, and he's been having to go and do it again and again, but failing constantly. It's not till the mine actually doesn't collapse, or he's able to save everybody, that we see him fully disappear into the next life. So, that does give more leeway to the idea that the Boogeyman episode is an actual event that's happening, and kinda does suggest that there is a war in Quantum Leap behind the scenes, between God and between the devil, or between good forces and bad forces, or between the universe and between nothingness. It's hard to say. They try to stick scientific, but admit that there is this spirituality, or even just a religious basis behind it at the same time. Really going again with this idea from the very beginning of the season, where he even says that they don't know what's sleeping him or what force it is, Maybe it's science, maybe it's God, maybe something else. So it has been hinted from the beginning. And whether we like to admit it or not, the Boogieman episode does help push along certain ideologies that the series has shown in the past, and even introduce some interesting concepts and characters along the way, leading for some interesting storylines and side characters that have even been brought into the remake or reboot of Quantum Leap in recent years that I do believe was cancelled 2 years ago. Again, here we are, but that's just speculation on my end. The Boogieman itself is an interesting episode. It's a fun episode that can stand on its own. Whether it did inspire later on episodes or whether it was inspired by something else, we do know that the reason that this episode does have a lasting mark was because of how different it was compared to the rest of the series. How interesting, and how for a first time we see Al play a bad guy in this whole scenario. Suddenly we can't be really sure of who Sam can trust and who he can't. Suddenly it adds this idea that, is the person we're talking to really the person we're talking to, or do they have the best intentions along the way? But that's neither here nor there, with the main factor that the reason that Sam was able to leap forward being that he helped inspire Stephen King write some of his greatest novels by recounting this tale and this dream to him. But for the most part, that's all I have to say about it. What do you guys think of the episode? I do love it. Is there more Quantum Leap episodes you want me to watch, or is there other series you would like me to check out? As I said before, I'm willing to check out The Twilight Zone again, or maybe some other series along the way. Maybe Twin Peaks or something along those lines. Thanks again for watching. I hope you guys enjoyed this video. Please leave a like, comment, subscribe down below. I'd really appreciate it. It helped me out. And yeah, come back next time. We'll be with more analogs, or even just series reviews, or a movie review. We'll be doing some classic movie monsters along the way. Thanks again for watching, and see you guys next time.